The deep state thought they had Alex Jones cornered. They thought their plan to force InfoWars into the hands of the Onion was foolproof. But something happened they never expected. A judge just halted the entire sale, and tonight we're bringing you exclusive details about what really went down in that bankruptcy court. A higher bid mysteriously rejected, rules changed at the last minute. The trustees' shocking admission. This isn't just about a website anymore. It's about the establishment's desperate attempt to silence one of the most powerful voices in independent media, and that attempt just backfired spectacularly. Now, patriots, in times like these, when they're trying to silence independent media, you need to protect yourself and your family. Just like Alex Jones needs evidence to fight in court, you need a Car Vision X dash cam to document the truth. So when the deep state operatives try to set you up, this military-grade camera system captures everything in crystal clear 4K. With night vision and 24/7 recording, you will never miss a crucial moment. So visit carvisionx.com in the description for free shipping and join the patriots who refuse to be silenced. Okay, so I did appear. Brian contacted me. He said, "Hey, Alex is having this big show today. You need to get in it." Made a couple text messages to his producers, Daria and Rob, and I was on in about an hour. It's pretty cool. But Alex Jones is not finished, my friends. He's evolving. On the final InfoWars broadcast, I declared they can take the studio, the cameras, and the lights, but they can never kill the message. The next chapter of InfoWars will be stronger than ever. The revolution marches on. Here's a clip.
I want to thank Gary Franchi for coming on. Gary, you got the floor, buddy. Give me. I'm listening to you, but give me 15 minutes. I'm gonna come back and talk to you. I got some questions, my old friend. Go ahead.
Alex Jones, man, it's an honor to be here with you on this historic day for InfoWars and watching you storm forward into the next incarnation of InfoWars. And I've been watching this in the background, and my heart has been breaking. But I just want everyone who's watching to know that I wouldn't be in this chair if I didn't look you up 25 years ago. And it is the work and the foundation that you have laid for so many years that has awoken so many and has created a ripple effect in this next American revolution, the revolution that we are in now, the revolution of the mind, the revolution of the soul. And Alex, your work, like I said, it is foundational to what I'm doing. Yeah, that's us right there. Back in the day, that was us. That's when I first met you at the 9/11 Truth event in Chicago, and we marched in the streets. And if you look in the background right behind me, right there, that's Luke. That's Luke Rudkowski. I'll never forget when he was sitting with us, and we were on the L. We were heading downtown, and he had this massive book. He had this massive book of all of this 9/11 truth, and it's amazing that now we can contain all that information on our phones. But that just goes to show, back in the day when we would be burning DVDs and passing them out in the streets and hitting it with the bullhorn. I mean, that is how we got the message out. And then, of course, suddenly there were platforms that allowed us to share videos instantaneously. And that revolutionized everything. But I mean, I take it back even beforehand. When I was on radio, I was on GCN, I was on RBN, I was on WTPRN, and we were doing everything that we could to get the message out. And the thing is Alex, the message never dies. They can try to take your building, they can try to take your cameras, they can try to take your lights and your computers, but it's never going to kill the message. And I know you have a lifeboat that's ready to set sail, and I know that you've got 1 million soldiers, more than 1 million. You got tens of millions of people behind you. And I'm one of those people, and I'm proud to say that. And looking forward to what's about to happen. We've got there we are. That was at the hotel. We were sipping on some really nice tequila. That was a great night. And we went and had some steaks afterwards. That was when, when I came down to Texas and I did that little tour. And then well, you'll have to watch the rest. But that was a great night with Alex. But the big news today is that the Onion buys Alex Jones InfoWars with plans to make it a cosmic joke.
But the top lawyer, Viva Frey, says it was never about monetary compensation to begin with. This is to shut down InfoWars and silence Alex. Listen to what he has to say.
So I don't know what's going on in the weeds of the auction process. I know that Roger Stone was talking about putting together a coalition to buy the assets of InfoWars. They're going to say for other good and valuable consideration, which meant that we didn't accept the highest bid. This is not like a very complicated process here. This is a maximum value for the best interests, allegedly, of the plaintiffs or those who are judgment creditors. What's clear from this, and it's been clear from the beginning, the goal was never to maximize any execution of a judgment in for and on behalf of the judgment creditors. It was to shut you down and shut you up. And what's clear is that the lawyers in this file and whatever political interests that started this are not interested in compensating the plaintiffs for any actual damages that they might have suffered, but rather simply in shutting you down. There is, as far as I'm concerned, an objective breach of fiduciary obligations of the trustee towards, and the lawyers, towards their clients. Because what they've done is, from what I know of what settlement discussions were floating around, what they are doing right now is going to yield them, if anything, pennies on the dollar for what settlement offer was on the table, which would have been to the benefit of the judgment creditors, that being the plaintiffs who, they lawfared their way into a ridiculous judgment, but we're not at that stage anymore. What this is right now is nothing shy of just shutting you up and shutting you down. And if the Onion is in fact the entity taking over InfoWars, an attempt to just erase the history of InfoWars by merging it into what is going to be a future of bad satire through the Onion, so that when people think of InfoWars as a brand, they're going to think of bad satire as of the Onion and not what InfoWars was, which was radically more accurate news and information than all of the legacy media combined.
Yeah, that's what's really interesting. So the Onion wins the bankruptcy auction to buy Alex Jones, Fox 61 reporting that. Legal bombshell, however. Alex reports that a judge has now blocked the sale of InfoWars and slams how the auction was conducted. Here are the details.
We're built as back. So here we are in the InfoWars studios on November 14th, 2024. It is 6:19. And I've just been down the road at the Alex Jones Network studios that were built as backups. And this is the facility we've been in for 16 years. Now, I have major breaking news for everyone. The headlines you see everywhere that the Onion bought InfoWars today is not true. The judge had an emergency hearing today that we filed for at 8 a.m. this morning. It went on for several hours. He was extremely upset, the federal judge, Chris Lopez, and said, this is not a real auction. You don't claim there's a public auction where people can bid up and have them register for it, and then 2 days before change it and say the bids are secret and we don't have to take the highest one. Then he asked the U.S. trustee that ran this, what was the winning bid? He said, well, I can't tell you. Did you hear what I just said? Not only did they not take the highest bid, they won't even say what was paid, but they said, well, it's Alex Jones's judgment. That's like toilet paper. $1.5 billion fake dollars that doesn't exist? You're gonna get $1 billion out of this piece of paper? So you can't pledge, that's federal law in bankruptcy, a debt towards something, and especially because doubly, they didn't tell the other bidders that they were gonna allow credit to be used to buy it. That's what they're calling it. It's credit in the future, pie in the sky on my future earnings. So they bought my company in a rigged fake auction that didn't even happen with my money that doesn't exist. So the judge says he hasn't set the date yet, next Monday or Tuesday. He said early next week, I take that as Monday or Tuesday, to have an evidentiary hearing on this. My lawyers and the real bidders' lawyers, who are very prestigious, said they've never heard of something like this. Walter Sisak, the lawyer for the folks that tried to buy InfoWars that were good guys, is recognized as the toughest bankruptcy lawyer in Texas. He's known as the Bulldog. He's a no bullshitter. He said he's never seen anything like this.
So this is all developing right now. So, despite the headlines you see like this, the Onion buys InfoWars at auction, but Alex claims a higher bid was rejected. Breitbart covering this as well. But as we know, Alex Jones is one of the greatest Americans that have ever lived. I believe that. I mean, he put me on a path to meet Aaron Russo and Ron Paul and join the Ron Paul revolution and start a super PAC and then start this network, start this YouTube channel, have it go on actual television, broadcasting to 12 million people a night with my wife. You know, Alex put me on that path with all the work and the documentaries that he was producing, that he gave away for free. He told people to download them and share them. He didn't care. He just wanted the message out there. 5 hours ago, this person says, Matt Powell 7 says, RIP InfoWars. They aren't going to ever shut Alex down. Many tyrants have tried to silence ideas like InfoWars, but the truth is you can never kill an idea. You can never shut Alex Jones up. He goes out for any reason, and there'll be hundreds of us to take his place. The Health Ranger, Mike Adams, seriously, the deep state tried to bend the laws of physics, space, and time in order to get Alex Jones. They've broken every law, every rule, every iota of reason and rationality to try to silence Alex, praying for InfoWars. So Alex is, I mean, he is the subject of lawfare just like we witnessed with Donald Trump. So Aiden Salazar, Brian sent me this link to this X article. Not so fast. Not so fast. Judge halts InfoWars sale to Onion due to shady auction procedures. No one should feel comfortable with the results of this auction, says U.S. Bankruptcy Judge Christopher Lopez over InfoWars' purported sale to the Onion. Okay, this came out just an hour ago. So we have some new developments. Wow, more new developments. Let's listen.
It came out that all right, this is the last update. I detailed all this on air today, but I learned even more tonight, and it's worse than I thought. But here it is, very simply for everybody. There was a auction ordered by the judge, but he wanted to have more hearings about it for the details to make sure it was all legal. The U.S. trustee assigned by the Justice Department that was in charge of it went ahead and had what he said was an auction. But then it came out that he didn't make the auction public, didn't let people have bids to go above the supposed highest bid, which means it's not a real auction. And then it turns out he ignored the highest bid and gave it to a lower bid because they were the Democrats. And so it was a private sale masquerading as an auction that did not happen. That's what the judge said today. He said it did not go through. He's having a full evidentiary hearing next week. In the meantime, the U.S. trustee, overstepping his power, came in and closed InfoWars and cut the broadcast off. So it is off the air. We're over at the Alex Jones Network at AJN Live on X and Real Alex Jones and the satellite uplinks, the radio stations, the TV stations. They're having to switch over to our new satellite. There was some problems there because it was just sneak attack. Boom. They have the auction, keep it secret Wednesday. This morning, they show up at 8 a.m., say, shut the building. I go on and, talk about it. Then they go order people to shut things off. I'm just saying, I'm a federal trustee. Do what I say. Like the last federal trustee did in June or late May, saying, shut the building with no court order. I didn't leave. I threatened to call the police. And then they had an emergency hearing thinking I would be kicked out, and the judge fired them. So this is the second federal trustee doing this wild vigilante crap. So the Onion's everywhere announcing they bought it. The media is saying they got it. But Bloomberg and AP are going, well, now the judge said, no, he's questioning it. No, he said it didn't go through, and he's going to decide what to do. And my lawyers are like, well, they've taken this thing off the air. These employees are out on the street. And the judge said, well, as soon as we can have it, it's early next week, I'll give you a date. But yeah, this is crazy. So bring your evidence in. But he said.
So it keeps developing here. The U.S. judge overseeing Alex Jones' bankruptcy expressed skepticism over Thursday's purported sale to satire publication The Onion, according to the Associated Press. We just played these clips here, but this is what Brian sent me as we were developing this story today for you guys. This is what the AP said. Maybe difficult to read. I'll try to zoom in for you. The AP said, but the judge in Jones' bankruptcy case said on Thursday that had concerns about how the auction was conducted and ordered a hearing for next week after complaints by lawyers for Jones and a company affiliated with Jones that put in a $3.5 million bid. Did you hear that? A company affiliated with Jones put in a $3.5 million bid. Now, when the word started getting out that they were going to shut down InfoWars, I contacted Roger Stone. I said, Roger, we can't let this happen. You know, Roger, you got to know some billionaires. You know, can you put together a team? And he said, I am working on it. So, a company affiliated with Jones, I mean, think about that. That means the company comes in that's affiliated with Jones, buys InfoWars, and just hires Jones to do the job. They can't shut him down. So this is going to be a continuing story. We're going to continue to track it. But if you haven't followed him on X, on AJN Live, at AJN Live, that's where you need to go. And you could follow Alex at this lifeboat operation. And they are doing consistent live streaming. Of course, I was on that show earlier today. So many others were as well. And we're going to continue to track this. So the battle for InfoWars isn't just about Alex Jones. It's about every independent voice in America. When a judge steps in to question a rushed auction, when higher bids get mysteriously rejected, when rules suddenly change, you have to ask yourself, what are they so afraid of? So while you're watching this fight for freedom unfold, show your support for independent media with our exclusive Next News merch at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Let them know which side that you are on in this information war. But here's what we need to know from you in the comments. If the deep state can attempt this kind of takedown of InfoWars, who's next? Which independent media voice do you think that they're going to target next? And how do we protect them? Your insights could help us prevent the next attack on free speech.